Hello, everyone, and welcome to Callum and I's 2018 Life Day special.
Woo! Have a dark side barbecue.
We're playing in the background an old Star Wars, essentially an old Star Wars record.
Yeah, it's called Christmas in the Stars. And it came out about the same time as the holiday special.
About a year after. But anyway.
Around the same time.
Right.
In hindsight.
So, what we're going to be discussing today is essentially Christmas-related topics and Life Day in general. And that includes, unfortunately, the holiday special.
There are good bits though.
There are two good bits. There is the Boba Fett cartoon, and there is the ending. And that is about it.
And there is some people at the B. Arthur scene as well.
Yeah. The B. Arthur scene.
But if you want to watch it, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I watch it every year. And I feel terrible for saying that. So do not mind that. That is a 16-month-old pupper. He is good boy.
We love the pupper, yeah.
Yeah.
So on the holiday special, do you want to go a bit more in depth about that now?
Yeah, we might as well start with the holiday special.
So I might just chuck this up.
So, again, I'm just using this as thing right there. Holiday special was, I believe, 1979. No, 1978.
Yeah,
so
1978.
Yeah, it was 78 because it was the year after the first movie came out. So, the holiday special is now 40 years old. As of, I believe it was November 17th. So it's about 40 years old, and 40 years old and
definitely showing it.
1 month. Oh yeah, I've had it playing right next to me here.
Yeah. I thought I'd just play one random part from it while we're going.
Oh yeah, you're good. Terrible part. That is. Oh boy.
So you can explain your theory that you had, that you talked to me earlier about.
Right. My theory. Hold up. Excuse that. For a sec. Let's see here. I have to go back onto Discord and look through our chat because essentially it's basically a thing I wrote down in stuff. Do not mind that outside.
It's alright, I've got the holiday special playing. Which is better, do you think?
Probably the holiday special right now.
There we go.
So we got to talk about the holiday special, with stuff. So I had a thought, and this will change the holiday special for anyone listening and watching right now. Is I thought of, well, it feels like, because the special centers around Lumpy, aka Lumpararo, I believe is what his full name is.
Yeah, I pronounce it Lumpawaru, but whichever interpretation of that.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate, actually. So I was thinking it's probably just the way I'm looking at it now is you think of Kashyyyk, big tree, and you think of the special centers around him, a child. So what if Lumpy is the embodiment of a kid in 1979 playing with his Kenner action figures before Christmas? And again, this was at a time where the Kenner action figures, I believe, were still in limited quantities. I think even still a year into the movie's lifetime. So it's just like it's an interesting concept because kids playing around the tree and everything, and it's basically this special is basically it's a figment of the boy's imagination. So case in point, you can always think about the Wookiees being he has probably two Chewbacca action figures. Probably from his grandfather and his mother. You can think about it that way. Mm-hmm. And you also have a third one, which, it's probably a Christmas gift that, miscommunication there. And also, you can also think about Jefferson Starship as him having an older brother, and you can think of the Imperials as basically his brother personified there. And you can always think about, he's waiting for his dad to come home on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day from work or whatever. And you can always just think about that in this special now, and it's really weird that I just came up with that. Because I believe Jefferson Starship, I'm jumping around here, I hate doing that. Jefferson Starship, I think, was very popular among teens, I believe, at the time, so that makes a lot of sense, and,
It's sort of the age group that Zols would appeal to.
Exactly. And then you had, you proposed a theory about the mother and the cooking show.
Yeah, because the mother could have had the cooking show on and then he influenced a bit by that in his imagination. With the Sir Whip. Yep.
Yeah. And then another thing is Lumpy stops playing, or this kid stops playing with the toys and sits down and watches a Star Wars cartoon, which would be the Boba Fett special. Thus leading, into this weird thing where it doesn't really connect to the special in any other way, because it's like that's the one single part of the special that's really weird.
I guess that the kid would have also watched some of those weird gymnastic things.
Yeah. Wait. Hold up.
Hey, so here's the part that's playing at the moment on my screen is actually going to come up with one of the part I questioned you about.
Okay, 1980s was the Summer Olympics. Alright.
So it could sort of be Gymnastic Olympics or something if it's the Summer Olympics then.
Exactly.
The part I'm going to question is the VR headset with the grandfather.
I tried not to think too far ahead on that one. You gave the man VR porn. I'm saying it. You can bleep me in your video. As much of a
technically classified as softcore porn, I think, but
yeah.
At least it doesn't show anything, so it still could be played on free TV at children's hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you go into the holiday special in that mindset now, about Lumpy is the embodiment of a boy in the 1970s, and this all takes place in his imagination, playing with his Kenner action figures. and he's being influenced by outside sources, then there you go. The holiday special to me seems probably more watchable.
Yeah. And yeah, right here would be a kid getting a present from a friend or whatever.
Right.
Whatever kind of weird present the kid got, but hey.
It's really weird. Yeah. I'm still playing essentially the record or album.
Yeah.
Which is
I thought might just chuck that in later on.
Oh, you're good. So I guess the next thing
So
would be
this is the special part, yeah. That I've got playing now.
oh god. Oh please. Okay.
So a theory about that is that the child, because it lost his innocence.
Oh, that's pretty good. So, we'll go into that here in a little bit. So,
I've also thought it was interesting. The holiday special is actually the first appearance of a Deshard. Are you familiar with that species?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to think about. I know what the species is. It's Oh, give me a moment. I'm on their I'm on the page. I'm just looking at what they look like, but I've heard of them.
Yeah, it looks different in the holiday special too.
Yeah,
well, I actually first saw them in the Old Republic MMO playing it because I didn't know them before.
I played the MMO every once in a while.
I need to play the new update, but I haven't had time.
Yeah. Problem with me is I can't. I don't have a level 70 right now.
No. I've kept up a subscription from when it actually came out, so that's interesting.
Yeah. I can't find any.
I'll see if
pictures of the shade from the holiday special.
I'll see if I can find it. I'll turn my camera back on.
Alright.
And I'll see if I can find it.
No, I got it. Hold up.
Because it's in the Cantina scene.
Yeah, it's right here. Not that.
So I may as well play that scene anyway. If I do this.
Yeah, it's Ket Molest.
There's a towels and all sorts in there, which is cool.
Snaggletooth. Biff.
Ponda Barber, what are you doing there?
Isn't probably, I think they retconned the character.
They probably reused some of the same props and stuff.
Yeah.
They remixed Cantina Band as well there, actually.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? I'm hearing it now. Right there, that's if you pause it there, the guy in the hood there, that is a Nycto.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. It's, I forget what subspecies.
Yeah, there's a couple of different subspecies they have. So, yeah.
Rhodian.
The Cantina scenes are always interesting to pick out all the different species they add in.
Yeah, it is. Oh god, that's a good thing. I'm pausing the thing currently.
Yeah, that's alright. Yeah. So the first appearance of a Deshard, which I don't know if they come up in comics at all, really, to be honest.
I'll check.
But they don't appear in any of the novels in the Old Republic either.
They are in. So they are in mostly comics. It looks like they're in the Knights of the Old Republic comics.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
They are in the Old Republic video game, HoloNet News volume. the Clone Wars, the Foleying mini
Okay.
comic that they had on the website. The holiday special and Legacy comics and the role.
They're quite spread out, especially.
Yeah,
Thinking of that.
they are.
They got a bit more.
You don't really see them.
Yeah. They got more attention in the Old Republic, which is interesting. And then it seems like the species sort of died out almost.
Possibly,
Almost.
I forget. I think about them. Their species was, I believe, that they were very keep to themselves. I could be wrong.
Well, they do eat Force users, and with the death of all the Jedi and really Vader and Sidious untouchable, they wouldn't have much to feed on.
Yeah.
Thinking of that. So.
Oh, Captain Malala, wait, hold on. Prince Caesar's descendant of the royals who had passed the shade down in the age of Black Sun 1. Just shading the day of the Bible. So, it's weird, their placement in the timeline and everything. But,
okay, interesting parts, but yeah. So, it's interesting how things keep coming back to Faelin and Shizor recently after reading Shadows of the Empire, and more things are cropping up about it.
Actually, we won't harp on this much. In the Clone, because I've got a thing for the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch the Clone Wars and take notes, and then we'll have a big long discussion about it.
I'll, if you want, I'll watch it with you, and we can do that.
I'll see how I go, because I'll be able to watch it when I don't have internet.
Okay. So the thing is with the mini comics they did with time with the TV series, they had Caesar in those comics and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just always weird about how things always interconnect.
They tried to. It's not weird. It's really good, actually. One of the reasons that Expanding Universe is so good, because
why it works so well.
Yeah, and I think I just notice it more after Shadows of the Empire, and I'm currently reading Hard Merchandise, and the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy has flashbacks with Shizor and everything in it as well.
Try to think. Slave Ship was the second book, right?
Yep.
Okay, Hard Merchandise, so you're on the last one.
Yeah, I'm on the last one there. So I'm gonna do my video when I have time, but I've got other things I have to do around Christmas, so I'll just see how I go.
Oh, I'm sure people understand. Apparently the Cathar first appeared, probably a retcon in the holidays, but yeah. So,
some of the Cathar are weird subspecies.
Yeah, some are weird. Alright, so, you can cut back to your face.
Yeah, it's probably nicer to look at.
Probably not.
There we go.
So the thing about the holiday special, and everyone's heard and everything about this special. Case in point, George Lucas gonna go. He's out right now. He's out right now during Christmas. This is how he spends retirement. Obviously, after he sold the franchise to Disney, he went out to Home Depot and bought used that $1 million to buy a sledgehammer, a lot of plane tickets, and he's going around. I don't want any of you to be alarmed at home. He's going around and he is finding every single copy of that holiday special and he is smashing it. If it's on your computer is in danger. You need to delete it off of your computer.
So,
destroy your computer.
Eventually, George Lucas will infiltrate Pirate Bay and take down the servers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that hasn't been working for me for a while.
But yeah. Well, they're blocked.
Filthy pirate.
Filthy pirates. Arr. Well, actually, they blocked the official site in Australia, but I'll just use a proxy.
Yeah, I know. They did the same thing here. And it's kind of like,
because some of the stuff you get a lot earlier anyway.
Right. So again, the holiday special. What don't people know about it at this point?
If you haven't watched it, it is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yeah, you can only stomach it once in your lifetime.
If you're a huge Star Wars fan, which is why you're probably watching the podcast discussion, then you'll probably end up watching it at one point.
Yeah, it's inevitable for a Star Wars fan nowadays because the curiosity will just be like, "What is this?"
Well, there's a Deveronian in the Cantina scene as well.
I'm probably one of the only people, not one of the only people. I'm in that minority of people who have watched the holiday special all the way through.
Yeah, I actually ended up watching it with my parents.
Because I know 2 people who could not watch it all the way through.
So,
I tried showing it to them, just being, and they're huge Star Wars fans. They're just like, we cannot watch this. It's awful. And why are you subjecting us to this obvious torment? So yeah, it's not.
Yeah. Well, I had trouble watching it on my own. So one time I said to my parents, we're just going to watch the holiday special to see what it's like. We managed to sit through it all.
You know what? I feel bad for the kids back in 1979.
Well, the funny thing was it aired once on TV here in Australia.
It only aired once here too. It's only aired once ever.
And yet, people know so much about it.
Right.
I do like how they reference Life Day, and they actually make a reference to Life Day in part of the story of Star Wars: The Old Republic. I noticed one of the dialogue options was mentioning Life Day, which is cool.
They do a Life Day thing every year in the Old Republic. They did every year in Galaxies too, I believe.
I believe when I was looking for a photo for Life Day, then I came up with one for Galaxies. Which I actually started playing a little bit because I managed to download that emulator and get it working. But I haven't been able to play it a lot.
It's lacking in features. It's just.
It's not very beginner friendly, I'll say.
Yeah, it is. So, I'm just like looking through the Life Day stuff here. So what basically is Life Day? It's basically
Wookiee Christmas.
Winter it's a winter solstice kind of holiday type deal. I think created originally Wookiees created it, and then it just kind of spread across the galaxy. I believe the Empire banned Life Day,
which makes sense. So we don't see it in the bigger galaxy.
Yeah.
In the movies.
I could be wrong though. Life Day Clone Trooper armor. What is this? Okay, it was in the Clone Wars Adventures video game, which is non-canon.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that. I don't think.
I've played it. It was just kind of like a thing to tide people over watching Clone Wars.
No.
What the hell? Cantorns.
Oh, I did think Carrie Fisher singing was nice as well.
A lot of people hate it. Or are you being sarcastic?
Oh, I didn't mind it amongst the rest of the holiday special.
Yeah, it's not.
It's different. You don't have Carrie Fisher singing in anything else. And she doesn't sound
Right.
that bad, in my opinion, really. I think you can just look at her and tell she's high.
Yeah. God, it's been. They did Fisher die? I forget if it was right before Christmas or it was right after. I'm looking this up.
Yeah, I forget the exact date. Because her mother's died shortly
if
after.
today is the day, then oh jeez.
Yeah, if you don't know, if this uploads later for me, it's the 23rd of December here.
She died, I think, on your birthday. So 27th.
The 22nd for you, but it's the 23rd. It just turned for me.
That's right. Damn.
Time zones.
Can we talk about how amazing technology is? Where I'm talking to you on one side of the planet and you're on the complete other damn side.
Yeah, that's great.
Australia and Ohio, like that's probably one of the furthest distances you can be apart.
Oh, where was the furthest from Australia now? I forget exactly, but it's somewhere in the middle somewhere. I forget now. Yeah, I think it's like Turkey or something is one of the furthest countries from Australia.
Really?
Yeah. Thinking geographically, because you can go the other way as well, around the poles, to some places.
Yeah, Empire says we could also destroy presents placed around the very same cities, believing gifts to contraband go by the Alliance.
Excuse me for one moment.
This is weird. So Life Day is essentially commemorate the renewal of life. So basically,
Oh, what was it?
Here.
I think it's connected to the Life Dead a bit as well. I forget exactly, because they've got bits and pieces of information about it dotted throughout games and things that you piece together. I think.
What was?
Stuff to do with Life Day and.
Oh yeah.
The Wookiees believe. I think Life Day's connected to the Force as far as their interpretation of the Force. From memory.
Spiritual passage by chewing on roots of the organ plant. Majority.
Oh, so they're high too.
Form enjoying the essence of the tree of life. According to the legends, that most ancient tree had been the starting point of the Wookiee civilization. So basically the ricotta. You know that whole thing there has been like completely retconned, right? Where the ricotta like terraformed Kashyyyk.
Yeah, I was actually playing Knights of the Old Republic on my phone, and I was going. They planted seeds to make the trees grow and whatnot. It's interesting.
It's weird.
It's interesting because there's really nothing on the ricotta other than what's left over from the ancient civilization.
Right. I have on my phone KOTOR.
Yeah. I was playing it on there because it was while I was travelling and I wouldn't bring out my laptop and play them or whatever.
So let me see what an orga plant is. So orga plants, I'm guessing, are for ceremonial purposes. So I'm guessing something like a shroom or a like marijuana or.
It seems to be that sort of thing, and they probably start taking it about the start of the holiday special movie.
Oh my god! I just realized Wookiees are stoners. Wookiee cookies are edibles. People.
Yes.
God. So, beyond more serious aspects, so Life Day was also a time to remember the past, spend quality time with family. Let's see here. Pledging a life debt for another. Revelry and merrymaking. Such activities include trimming a special tree, a Life Day tree. I want a Life Day tree, damn it. Let's see here.
Then again, you might not.
Consuming treats like Wookiees and hot chocolate, and listening to festive music. The exchange of presents was central
Hot
ritual
chocolate.
and symbol of love. At night, Wookiee households would gather around the table while holding hands before pausing for a moment and silent prayer. Citizens also celebrated their life day by eating ice cream.
And
Music.
and Princess Leia, when she ate a Wookie, went singing.
Oh god. Yeah. Let's see here. Cookies. Essential.
Yeah, basically.
Let me see here.
It makes so much sense if they actually eat the fruit or whatever it is, and they make the edibles and whatever, just at the start of the movie.
What? I'm wondering what in the fuck hot chocolate. Oh my god.
It's hot chocolate, but they retconned it to mean hot chocolate.
No, it's hot. No, it's a variant of hot chocolate using Tauntaun milk.
Okay, I wouldn't think that'd be very available, to be honest.
And a number of different spices mixed with cocoa and boiling water. Hot chocolate was associated with Wookiee Life Day. So yeah, that's freaking Christmas. It's like, it's the winter solstice, damn it.
So, hot chocolate is like eggnog with chocolate.
And it looks like these Wookiee cookies are like peanut butter or like sugar cookies type stuff. Which, in all honesty, I'm down.
That sounds good.
No. So I'm just like looking through here. The earthly analog. It's really weird. Some people put out a stand-in for the American holiday of Thanksgiving. Some say it's Christmas.
Well, interesting fact about that is we don't do Thanksgiving here in Australia, so I never thought of that.
Right.
But then again, Christmas is based on the birth of Jesus and whatever. But they don't actually know an exact date for when Jesus was born. So Christmas, the date, is based off of an old pagan religious festival, so that it transitioned into Christianity better.
Very Christian. I'm joking, people. I am Christian, but I'm not forcing it upon anyone.
Oh, we have something in common.
Yeah. Such elements. So it's weird. So it seems to be Christmas, but again, it's weird. Let's see. Wait. Oh, the Sheik Deaths. I believe it was the WrestleMania newspaper strip also deals with Life Day.
Sounds like the Shadowlands.
Yeah, it does. Basically, that was the first appearance of the Shadowlands, I believe. Wait. Case in point, I'll just check really fast. Locations.
So while you're going, considering you played it a bit, what do you think of the Christmas in the Stars album?
Yeah, we're about to get on that. What do I think of it? Believe it or not, it isn't bad. It definitely isn't bad. To the point of where it's something that I didn't know I needed until I just listened to it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, this isn't bad. So this is probably the one. Believe it or not, this is the one exception to the rule back then where Lucas was completely out of creative control of something. So, case in point, the holiday special. That's like the worst. The second worst, in my opinion. Second worst, in my opinion, was George giving up to Disney. That's my opinion. Again, that's mine. They haven't done anything. Like, this doesn't. It's not hated. It's not widely hated. I don't think it's, the best thing ever, and I don't.
I haven't heard people say bad things about it, but it doesn't come up a lot. I haven't heard people say bad things about it. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Which is interesting, because usually you've mentioned something somewhere like the holiday special, everyone goes, "Oh, that's bad."
Oh yeah.
You mention, say, the Crystal Star or some of the other things, and people go, "Oh, that's bad."
The triad, the personal bad triad. This is essentially EU triad. Is film slash. Technically, you can count the holiday specials. So film would be.
Yeah, I think it's technically classed as a TV movie.
Yeah, but it's kind of also a film. Because again,
because I think there was a trivia question one time. I was playing a bit of trivia somewhere. They said I think it was the first appearance of Boba Fett, but they didn't count the holiday special because they didn't count it as a movie.
No, but the thing is with Boba Fett, that isn't even the right answer, because Boba Fett first technically appeared in a walk in, I believe, England. Back in, I think
they said in.
months before the
I think they actually said in a movie in the question.
Oh, in a movie.
Yeah, so.
I'm guessing they were just trying to cover their tracks.
They were trying to say, well, they don't count TV movies, they just count theatrical releases or something.
Wow.
Semantics.
The thing is, with me being an EU / Legends fan, I use those two interchangeably personally. The thing is the EU has bad things in it. Case in point, what I'm about to name, it's called the Triad. Is what I call it. So, there's a film, there's a novel, and then there's a video game.
That you would say is the lowest points in the
lowest points, yeah.
For quality.
So the film would probably be the holiday special. The book is the Crystal Star, and the game. And I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. Because there are two games that are universally hated, basically for Star Wars fans. Technically, we found a third tonight.
But I'm not sure if you should say.
We won't discuss that.
I'm not sure if you could say ones that fall off the radar and aren't known are part of the triad.
Yeah.
So. We teased it, so yeah. We were talking about Attack of the Clones for the Game Boy Advance.
I don't own it, I just watched it, but I'm gonna have to own it.
So I actually have the old cartridge here, which is a double cartridge for whatever reason with it on. I remember playing it as a kid a little bit and just not liking it.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
New Droid Army is a lot better.
Yeah, I had fun with that.
But, yeah, New Droid Army is a hidden gem on the GBA. The thing is with, again, so the other two is Connect Star Wars, which, honestly, not bad at all.
People hate on it, but I think it's just...
People blow that game way out of proportion.
Personally, looking at it, I think it just depends what your expectations came into it, probably.
Believe it or not, the game actually controls well.
It
actually controls
when
really
people
well
heard Star Wars Connect, they were probably thinking of something like the VR lightsaber game or whatever, where you're controlling the lightsaber and everything, and it's not a dance game.
I'm surprised we still technically haven't... I mean, there's Trials on Tatooine, but we still haven't gotten... Give us that, Give us that.
I think
shut down Lucas.
someone did a skit. Someone did a skit, which is a comedy sketch of someone working out. This would be an awesome Star Wars VR game, and then they got taken away. He's realised too much. But, oh yeah.
No, but Connect, that game plays well enough, and it's not a bad game. Storyline's alright. But what really is the worst of the worst with Star Wars games is Masters of the Terrace Kasai. That game.
Yeah, I pronounce it Terraskasi.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's semantics on pronunciation,
I
really.
Yeah, I'd fluctuate around the pronunciation with it. Terraskasai, Terraskazi. No, but it's weird because that game is just. It's broken. That game is fundamentally broken. It's not balanced at all, and it's for fighting. LucasArts did not know how to make a fighting game.
Like, well, I can't say too much on it personally because I haven't played it.
The game also has no story mode. I mean, it has sort of a story mode, but at the same time,
the original Mortal Kombat didn't have a story mode.
Right.
So,
but again,
thing.
as you should expect for a Star Wars game, it needs to have a story.
I do like.
It's a given.
Yeah, because a lot of Star Wars is the story.
Exactly.
But what I like from what I've seen of it is they did add in EU characters for that, like Mara Jade and everything, rather than just sticking to movie characters.
The problem is with that in Terraskazi is because it has such bad unlock requirements for it. I've been on the wrong screen for a while, so I'm sorry for people who are wondering what we've been talking about. That's my fault. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I'm usually more alert to that kind of stuff.
Oh well.
Master of Terraskazi unlocks.
So if you want to chuck them up on your screen share, then that'd be nice.
I will.
Because then people on my side can see it as well.
Let's see here. That time, Kotaku did an article in 2015. That time Star Wars became an awful fighting game. Really? I have no idea. Hold up. I'm gonna have to switch here.
Something happened there where your camera went.
No, I know.
But that's alright, as long as you're aware.
I've gotta go in here and then turn on screen share. I guess that's good, and I'll just move that over there.
Okay.
So Masters of Terraskasai. Yeah, there's a reference to it. So right here, that it's again gives no reason really.
Yeah.
Greatest Star Wars game, bullshit. Best game ever. No. 4 out of 10. Best game. Best game.
4 out of 10 isn't
IGN
terrible,
games.
to be honest.
Let's see here.
I should have sized this window
terrible,
properly.
But it's not good. Is this an old video? This is an old article from '97.
Theoretically, they should be more honest.
Yeah, let me look up. That's a good video from Angry Video Gamer. Unlockables, here we go. Oh boy, here we go, people. Alternate costumes. Press L1 at the character selection screen. Yep.
Okay.
There's a big head mode. Big head, hands, and feet. Clean screen. Deformed characters. Tiny mode. Okay, there's an invisible lightsaber trick. Misc unlocks. So the first one, you can't play as Darth Vader in the beginning. So you have to beat arcade mode with Luke on the Jedi difficulty, which is, I believe, the hardest difficulty. And the game doesn't even play fair on easy difficulty.
Okay.
Anyway, so and then have player challenge and player change at continue option off. So basically, you cannot change characters in between fights.
So that's a decent challenge, at least.
It is, but it makes the character roster a whole lot smaller.
Makes you work for it. So some older games do have
Yeah,
some.
but it's not an easy
Make you
work
work
for.
Oh.
It's like bang your head against the wall work for. It's like Dark Souls.
Oh, you can play as Jodo Cast. Cool.
Yeah, you can play as Jodo Cast. Beat 10 characters in survival mode.
I
that
think
one is easier to do than that, but yeah. Mara Jade, this is, oh boy, this isn't the best. With the difficulty on Jedi, hold L1, L2, and R1 while entering team mode. Defeat all opponents in this mode. So you have to go, I believe it's after you unlock Vader and Jodo Cast.
Cool.
So you have to beat those characters. And Vader is completely overpowered in that game. He makes M. Bison look like a pussy. I'm quoting every video game nerd on that. And it is true. Vader will beat you down senseless. Okay, Slave Leia. Beat arcade mode with Leia on Jedi difficulty and have... So basically the same thing as that, but just with Leia.
Okay.
Beat arcade mode, which stage select. So, in the beginning of the game, you always just get random stages. You get random stages. And it's like... Exactly, you cannot select your stage. The game is ridiculous, dude. It's like beat arcade mode with Chewbacca on Jedi difficulty. Yeah, so it's like, oh, so we can't select a stage? We have to play through this with Chewbacca?
That's just a basic thing in every fighting game that's come out since. Even around then.
Let's see, and then Stormtrooper, beat arcade mode with Han Solo on Jedi difficulty. So these are just, it's hard. It isn't a satisfying game to play. The game cheats on you. It's not satisfying.
That's weird. Oh, there we go. Wookiee cookies.
Oh yeah. Here I am switching back to that. There, cool. And then I'm going to move this back over here. So yeah, it's not a fun game. Alright, so we're taking a small break here and moving on to, well, technically this was kind of a break. This came out last night, which was the Vader fan film.
Yeah, and I got back, well, I actually arrived back home, and then it was out, and I'm like, oh, it's out, okay.
I just don't know what to say. I think I summed it up pretty well in the Cantina here.
So I'm just gonna chuck that up on screen share for now.
That's fine. So Ken said, we got reference names. We haven't had them sign any release forms or anything, but we'll just refer to them by a pseudonym or like a shortened version of their name. Yeah. So Ken says, I asked if anyone at that point had seen the fan film yet, and he said, yeah, I did. It says, it was an okay start. It wasn't as great as I thought it would be, and I know that the Jedi on Naboo Vader is going to fight is obviously Mace Windu. Yes. So here's the thing. So it wasn't as great as I thought.
Yeah, that's a bit of expectations, really. But they did hype it up a lot.
The thing is here. Can you pause it on your end really fast?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's not a bad pause moment for that another topic as well there.
Yeah. So this is how I felt. about this was the beginning was kind of, and I'm just paraphrasing here. How do I say unimportant? I'm gonna play a little bit of this here on my end. But yeah, it was unimportant.
Probably, that play through
so basically, the first 1/3 of the beginning of the film is just it's a dream sequence, and
that's what it is. You have to wrap your head around it a little bit. Because rewatching it, I'm going, I didn't understand what was going on. Especially with this part. It's like, what's the setup for this?
Yeah, that was really weird. It was weird going into it. I was just like, what the hell? And I was just like, it feels, again...
No, I'm giving them free promotion. Get rid of that.
Oh yeah, it felt like... Yeah, we're talking about this soon.
And that's just some mass fan service big thing off of Kylo Ren's ability in The Force Awakens.
Yeah, and just like... I was very, saw that, I was like, okay. So, again, I just don't feel like the beginning is that important. Because the thing is, it's like an unspoken thing in Star Wars. We know Vader wants to kill Palpatine.
Yeah.
Writing is,
and that's always the thing between the Sith, is the apprentice always wants to kill the master.
Exactly, rule of two. That's the thing. Again, that's the thing. It's like you can't. There was no point in showing that to me. It's just like.
And it's only been 8 months. It's only been 8 months as well, it says at the start. So I don't think Vader would feel confident enough to be fighting Sidious, and Sidious I don't think would be testing him at that point because he'd be busy using Vader to hunt Jedi.
Exactly.
Not even looking at that looks weird. That looks weird.
No, it does. It just... No, it totally does. Another thing that threw me off, and I'm gonna say this right now, another thing that really threw me off was Palpatine's throne. They did the Snoke throne. If they did the Palpatine chair,
because we don't see him in an actual throne in any of the visual media.
Exactly. Well, what do you mean?
Well, what I mean is, in all the movies, he's just used the chair. He's used the chair as Senator Palpatine in the prequels.
Right. And
I don't remember mention of an actual throne in any of the novels so far.
Technically the throne is in Return of the Jedi, and...
Technically, but it was sort of a throne chair.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's just... I felt like some of the art direction is off. There. And another part that feels off, skip to, if you can, skip to 12 minutes in.
Yeah, I can find that.
Yeah, just skip to 12 minutes in. The clone trooper armor, that bothers the hell out of me.
Oh, load it. So it loads faster, yeah. So we've got here.
I
especially this part up the top breastplate.
The problem is, when I just pause it for now.
Yeah, I thought I'd pause it somewhere you could see it.
Yeah. The problem is what I have with that is they're using the Clone Wars stuff, and it's not the live action one, like Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And I get that they're using the 501st members, but the problem is with 501st, to me, is they really allow no realistic kit sets, meaning you have to join the 501st with a Clone Wars style kit of a clone trooper that matches the animation style. You can't go in and have a, case in point, a Fox set of Phase 2 armor.
Or even Katana armor.
Exactly.
If you go into the expanded universe.
You can have Katana armor.
I was thinking of the Imperial Commando series. I know this is based on the new canon, but if you think expanded universe, you have Darman, I think, is the main one that gets left behind and ends up in the 501st. And they're the special commandos with the special katana armor.
Right. You're allowed to have that. What the problem is with 501st is they are so down to regulation with stuff that you cannot have a realistic set. A realistic Episode 3 set of Fox armor. And that was approved. You cannot have that. It has to be Clone Wars style. And that's the big problem I have with
is that something to do with the criteria from Lucasfilm? Do you think?
Which, I believe, this is another reason. We'll go into this really fast here. Just pause it again.
I thought I'd just play a little bit.
Okay. The problem I have with Lucasfilm and the 501st, that relationship, Lucasfilm is just using them for Lucasfilm is just using them for publicity, number one, and number two, it deviates from their goals. Their original goal was to help organizations and charities. Instead of being at these premieres and being like on the,
just
red
let it play in the background.
Exactly. That's fine. But that's the thing, like, 501st has lost their way because of that, in my opinion.
I think of the actual charity Legion, yeah. I haven't looked very much into them, to be honest.
The Mandalorian mercs are, to me, the better organization because at least they allow customizability and they allow this and this. Whereas 501st is very stringent with their costuming codes. And it's very aggravating for, especially, I want to say, for me it would be aggravating because I love the Clone Wars, don't get me wrong, and I like the direction of the Clone Wars TV series.
It got better as time went on, I think, as well. With the
it did. But the problem is with that style is it doesn't translate well into real life because you have these harsher angles. You can see that really on the Phase 2 helmet down at the bottom. It's just very doesn't feel realistic. It
doesn't look as good, I don't think, either, when they use that compared to
it doesn't hit the eye as well. Again, it's good in animation, simply because you're limited by that. You're limited by that, and in that space, everything is like that. Whereas in real life,
and certain animation styles, certain art direction looks better in an animation style. Because if you look at, like, a good example is the Genndy Tartakovsky 2003 Clone Wars miniseries, they looks completely different, really, and yet it really suits the animation style with how it goes. But you wouldn't want to translate exactly what that is into real life because it'd just look weird.
Right. Another thing I have with 501st is so females, I believe, and you guys can point me out if I'm wrong here. I believe the female Stormtrooper armor is based off the Legacy comics.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen. Like I said before, I haven't looked very much into it, to be honest.
Yeah. So the problem is with that is you cannot have a guy go in there with Legacy set, I believe.
Okay.
So you can have the more stringent set for Legacy. And it won't be approved.
That's weird.
It is weird.
I thought the way that they ran it. Well, I got approached by the Rebel Legion at one point for my Star Wars cosplay. I think I mentioned it in the last one. I forget if I did now. But I got approached one time. They said, "Oh, just touch up a little bit with the belt pouches because that's only got like a phone holder on it at the moment," which is fine. But I tried emailing them more about it and I never got a reply. But
you'll probably have to go more on their forums.
Yeah. But I didn't bother too much with it because I don't have time really anyway. The thing with that was, I thought that it was sort of whatever you want to dress up in, you can do whichever charity fits that cosplay.
Right. But again, to me, 501st has lost their way in being more involved with Lucasfilm than certain things. Hell, there's a thing a month or two back with Daniel Logan and Ray Park with them denouncing their memberships.
Okay.
With them,
I think I might have vaguely heard of that, but I was amongst everything else as well, so I might have just glanced at it.
Apparently, from what I am aware of, 501st member, I believe, insulted Ray Park, or they completely lost the atmosphere of what the 501st is about. And I think a group of people within a certain, what is it called? A,
Clade?
It isn't a clan.
A certain clade?
Maybe like, I forget what the 501st calls them. Detachment, maybe?
Oh, that makes sense.
So, and from what I probably know, these people are from probably the California garrison who works more closely with Lucasfilm. So I believe that all this publicity and stuff being used for that has gotten to their head and they've forgotten really the purpose of it. Really.
Possibly. So, I can't really comment on it. But, yeah.
It's sad because I want to join the 501st, but the problem is number one, the money problem. Number two, I've got they've got issues there that need to be addressed.
And when you see issues like that, that puts you off of joining them. Which doesn't.
Mandalorian marks, I'm fine with because if there's anything controversial, as far as I'm aware, Lucasfilm doesn't use them in anything. So it's just, they're doing their own thing and stuff like that. So,
while we're thinking of charities, I think the Twin Sun Foundation does a great job of what they do.
I need to start donating to their stuff locally because I think there's a big one here in Ohio.
Well, they're not over here in Australia, but I've seen some of the stuff and it's really cool what I've seen. So.
The Quaver converter isn't complete yet. It isn't finished. Lock in your circuits again quickly.
Let me see here. Book drive about us. History of the Murmur. Yeah, I'd like to do more stuff like this. So You know, that's always a good cause.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Vader fan film. Another thing I didn't like too much about it, personally, was Vader's eyelashes and
Let's see if I can find that part.
it's just disturbing. They should be burnt off, and the eyelashes are they're too long and too thick.
If I go to this section,
It's around 6:33.
it's a cool sort of scene. So if I stop it there, you can see the eyelashes around there.
Yeah, it's not pleasant to look at.
Oh, they did a good job of the other makeup, but even then.
No, I know.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out some of the positives as we go. Rather than
no, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to harp on positives. The thing is, I love. Okay, pause.
Yeah, that's a good place to
that
pause.
makeup is really good. The makeup is excellent there.
Yeah.
Perhaps I can explain music.
All I'm saying is the eyebrows just really ruin it for me, because I'm just like, because they could have been digitally removed.
Or the person could have actually, yeah. They don't fit for him. He's burnt all over and hairless, and yet he's got eyelashes still.
And even Lucas has sad case in point. And this was one of the changes I agree with in Return of the Jedi Special Edition, was they removed his eyebrows. Because Lucas was like, he wouldn't have those.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. It's just like,
yeah, some things make sense.
Um,
And thinking of that scene as well, you pointed out to me, there's a part in Darth Vader, The Last Command series of comics that looks exactly like that, which I'll bring up on my screen there.
fun. But yeah, it's,
So I've got that there.
It's like
I
a
can
one-for-one
open
kind
that
of
there.
thing.
Oh, that zoomed in a lot. But yeah,
It did.
that
But yeah, that's
compared
if you
to
guys
that,
want-
it's a very, you can tell the visual similarity there.
Yeah, and I do like how he included that as it's a simple nod, and it's not just a rip of Rogue One and him. Because the thing is, Rogue One took it also from that comic.
Yeah. Well, that sort of idea, anyway.
That Vader can technically come out of the suit and, you know, still be worked on and everything like that.
Yeah. And I think in the novels, there's implications that he managed to make some small modifications to his suit by directing the droids.
The thing is with this, not this, if you haven't read, and I'm talking to viewers, so as you, the Lost Command here, Darth Vader and the Lost Command, great graphic novel, great comic book line, really deals with, I believe it's, give me a sec.
I'll just go back to my face now.
It's fine. I believe it takes place. I'm looking down here. It takes place 19 BBY, but I'm going to give you an exact place where that.
Okay, so that's not long after I'd say the Rise of Darth Vader book.
Right. So the Lost Command takes place directly after Dark Lord: The Rise of Darth Vader.
There we go.
So he deals more with basically Tarkin. Son has. I'm gonna just say it now. Spoiler warning. Skip ahead, probably about a minute or two. basically Tarkin's son defects from the Empire.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't
And
read it.
Tarkin thinks that he is, missing in action and everything like that. And Vader's sent to rescue him. And during that, Vader has been having recurring nightmares and dreams and visions of Padme, and that story is all based around him trying to get over her.
That's the same thing as what this Vader fan film's doing.
Exactly.
So,
I would love to see how this Vader fan film will play out. The thing is about The Lost Command, it's still up to interpretation if he's still fully over it, but Vader essentially gets his helmet taken off and he's like, you've read Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in that novel where Vader is basically in that pit.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the novel.
Yeah, he gets buried, basically.
He does the same thing in The Lost Command.
Okay.
He is buried for several days without his helmet, and he's like willing himself to survive.
It's interesting
Through anger alone.
how a lot of things from Splinter of the Mind's Eye later get used, because there's another one. Willing himself to survive comes to Darth Maul's return of willing himself to survive. And
you're kind of
these
up in
sorts
the
of
air
things.
about that.
Well, the idea of willing yourself to survive, it's not a new one for the Clone Wars,
No,
I'll
it
say.
isn't. How Anakin did it on Mustafar.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I don't know if I've asked you this. But what was the cutoff point for you with Darth Vader? Like, when did he cease being Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader?
For me, it's when he knelt and was dubbed Darth Vader by Sidious.
Same with me. As soon as he knelt down and pledged his allegiance to Palpatine, that's the threshold point.
And then he instantly goes off and kills younglings, which Anakin wouldn't do.
So, yeah, that was my crossover point. And I see a lot of people, post certain stuff being like case in point, YouTube videos like Anakin vs. Obi-Wan. It's like, he's no longer Anakin at that point.
Yeah, I'd agree with
He is
that.
Vader.
And I think
he might not
the official
embrace that identity,
but
he is Vader.
When people say about that in versus battles, usually it's pre-suit Vader. And then, so I think the other most popular point for people saying he's become Darth Vader is when he becomes trapped in the suit, basically. When he's all suited up and looks like Darth Vader.
Exactly.
So, it's up to interpretation, but I think that when he's dubbed Darth Vader, that's when it properly takes over. Not that he doesn't have the warring with himself. Which you can say is similar to Revan. Especially in Shadows of the Empire. Shadows of Revan. Expansion for SWTOR.
Right. I still need to play through that. I have it, but I need to play through it.
Because there's...
Let me see here.
Do you know what happens in it?
Yes. I do know the story. The thing is with me, when it comes to Star Wars, you can't avoid spoilers, especially with video games, I've learned. Especially with the MMO.
Because a lot of people talk about it.
A lot of people talk about it, number one. Number two, it's... you might not have access to expansion. At the time I didn't, and I was trying to read up on lore about characters and everything. And so, that happens. especially in the Star Wars fandom, where you want to learn more about said character, but you don't want to. You want to read so books.
Yeah.
Here's the breakdown: what will happen between this and this, and like the small
So,
comic book.
what I think could be the way I'd do it for that is just jump to the appearances section in Wikipedia.
Exactly.
And that's actually in chronological order as Wikipedia has it, so that's not too bad, I don't think. But
so the thing is
because with Revan splitting between the good side Force Ghost and the physical dark side, I'd say that's quite. It's more extreme. It's a similarity to Anakin and Vader as well. Even though Revan sort of repeats his cycle of doubling up and going through conflict and coming out in the end.
Right.
Light side.
So, again, if you haven't read Lost Command, read it. It's good.
Not to be confused with the Thrawn trilogy Last Command comic.
I do have. Those were expensive as hell. The Thrawn trilogy comics. Because I bought the 3 trade paperbacks for them a while back. They were like $30 each. I'm just like, oh jeez. How am I? It's like, how am I going to?
I might have gotten
this purchase.
I might have gotten more comics, but I think I saw in the shop the Marvel collections. Even though they have a fair few in them, it's still more expensive, and I prefer to get my novels because I'm a novel guy.
Right. The thing with I've sworn off the Marvel kind of line unless they have, and we talked about this in the last podcast, where I've sworn off that Marvel line, like their reprints of Dark Horse comics, because honestly, they should not take any credit for those artists' work, those writers. It's just, I will buy from Marvel. I will buy from Marvel's, case in point. I will buy from them.
If I wanted to get any of the new Star Wars content,
Marvel comics.
Or if I read one of the new canon Star Wars comics online and I really liked it and wanted to get it, I'd get one of those. But personally, I'm not as keen on the Legends banner anyway, so I've been trying to get my novel collection without it. But that's me. I started my collection without it, and it'd really feel odd if I had a mixture.
That's... I'm glad... No offense. I don't mind the Legends banner. I kind of like it to a degree, because it creates uniformity between all the novels. The thing is with me is I'm glad I started when I did after the Legends banner, so I don't have a mishmash and I don't have to buy used books with bad spines and stuff. The
difference with that is that you have to get ones that aren't reprinted still, which you'd have to find them later.
Which the ones so far, the only one I've had trouble finding that hasn't had a reprint would be Children of the Jedi, I believe.
Okay. I haven't actually looked at what's been reprinted properly, because I'm sure the episode 1 adventures haven't been, at least.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen Galaxy of Fear be reprinted.
No, they're not reprinting, at least in the States. In the States, they are not reprinting any of the junior books, but they are...
I know they're doing...
They're only reprinting the novels here.
I know they're doing some of the junior novels, because I chanced upon a couple of the Rebel Force series with Legends banner on them one time.
I know that they're doing those...
So they're doing that somewhere.
They must be doing it somewhere. I've only seen the banners on the young readers / young adult books. I've only seen those on digital copies.
Okay, well, just a moment.
I'd like to see if you do have one. That'd be interesting.
This one. And which so these are actually the 2 Rebel Force series ones I have. I have the Legends banner at the top of them.
That is strange.
Yeah.
What the hell? One of them's still sealed, isn't it?
Yeah, one of them's still sealed. And I haven't opened it.
What the hell?
Because I'm going to replace them, but I got them.
I kind of want those. I kind of want those now. Just.
It's a bit interesting, because you know how the novels have it around the top of the spine as well? These don't.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
in the shelf it doesn't look as bad either. But yeah,
No.
it's a bit weird with some of them.
Yeah.
And
I just.
yeah, here we go. It's actually got on the back all of the ones with
Let me
the
see.
Legends banner on it there.
Weird.
But as far as I
I'm gonna
know,
look this up. It's called Rebel. What is it called?
Rebel Force. Yep. And it's actually it'd be good to actually get a proper list of what has been reprinted somewhere. Might be able to research that a bit, because this is the only series I know that's been reprinted. I think there are a couple of others, but I don't know which ones they are offhand.
I don't. That's strange. Oh wait. Do you? Can I see one of those?
Which
Does
one?
it have Disney on the bottom? Either
Yeah.
way. Does it have the Disney logo on the bottom left-hand corner? No, on the front.
Not on the front. That's on the back. So it doesn't actually have it on the back. It just says Scholastic.
Weird. That is really weird for me, because apparently the digital one has the. God, that's kind of weird. Where'd you get them? eBay?
It was in a shop in Asia, in Malaysia, I think.
In Malaysia?
Yeah.
Oh God, you didn't buy knockoffs.
No, I don't believe they're knockoffs, because they've got the proper copyright and everything in them, like copyright and whatnot. So they have a random Legends banner in there, I just noticed as well.
That is so strange. Alright, let's see. Another thing I didn't like about this fan film was the Palpatine makeup.
Oh yeah, going back to that. Some of the makeup,
Yeah.
and I think that you can tell in some scenes that Darth Vader hasn't got a bodybuilder in the suit, basically. Because David Prowse was a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So you notice that a bit. And when
yeah.
they did the young versions of Anakin and Padme, the outfit and everything looked good, but Anakin, you could tell the kid was wearing a wig.
Yeah, just...
And it was, even though he's wearing a wig, it wasn't the right kind of hair.
Yeah, it looked weird. Hold up.
I can find where that is.
What else was that? The plot feels a bit rushed. I feel like.
I feel like, to be honest,
I feel like it's moving too quickly. If that makes sense.
I'm not even exactly sure what the plot is, other than he's being sent to kill a Jedi on Naboo.
Obviously not Jedi, freaking Mace Windu. And it's just like...
Because it's a fantastic thing. Oh yeah, also I noticed, amongst it, they have all old Clone Wars Republic ships. Especially thinking of Vader and Sidious being on an up-to-date ship. Because in the expanded universe they had the Imperial type ships. I think it was the Venatus, the first, the Venator class Imperial cruisers. They began at the end of the Clone Wars, and yet they still have the old Clone Wars style
It
ships.
took them a while to fully replace
Yeah.
the Venator fleets
Sorry,
with the
I was
new.
thinking of the
I believe at the time it was called the Imperator.
Just
class.
check. There's an Imperial Star Destroyer. An Imperial Star Destroyer. I think that Sidious and Vader will have priority in using one of them as their basis.
In the EU they did. Vader got, what was it? It might have been the Devastator. I believe he had the Devastator within the first, I think, month or so. I'm gonna quickly look this up.
I agree, R2. We had better help them. Perhaps Chewie could
Just trying to see. Because there's the Imperial 1 class Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I think that's the first one.
Devastator, let's see, he's...
They first appear in Star Wars Battlefront, the first game, and in Star Wars Battlefront 2. And then appears in Dark Lord: The Rise of Darth Vader as an Imperator class. So that... I'll see if it has anything in the canon tab, for because this fan film is based on the new canon. It just seems odd to me.
I don't know, it's weird. They haven't said where it exists. I think it exists in its own separate thing.
Appearances: Star Wars Battlefront 2, which, if it's a new game, then it could be any of the sequences.
Okay,
it appears in Catalyst, the Rogue One novel after that, so that's a bit too far past that.
Yeah. I don't know, it's weird. The Exactor, let's see. The Exactor was the first.
Executor?
Was the second. No, the Exactor.
Okay.
EXACTOR.
Just checking. Because the Executor was the first Superstar Destroyer.
Yeah, the Executor. No, Lusankyo was the first Superstar.
No. That we've seen that existed in the Star Wars universe. As far as release date.
Timeline-wise, yes. Release-wise, yes. But in the universe, Lusankyo was first.
So the Exactors before Dark Lord: The Rise of Darth Vader it first appeared in a couple of comics. In Dark Times comics. So as far as the EU goes, it doesn't make sense for them to have Clone Wars era ships still. But I'm not sure how the new canon is around.
To me, it depends because the Exactor was only the second one made. I'm gonna guess there wasn't too many of the Imperial ones.
I thought that
produced.
Even though our first coming in, I think that Sidious would be using one at least. And Vader when they make.
But you also have to think at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
They bring in, well, going more into EU, they bring in all the Sparty clones and a bunch of the new Imperial class Star Destroyers after Revenge of the Sith. So 8 months after, there'd be enough for them to use one as a capital ship, I would think. Right. But that is expanded universe, and this is set in new canon.
And it doesn't mean that. You also have to think that it's not. To me, it's not always like that is their capital ship. That's just a ship they're needing.
Well, yeah. Well, it had his throne in it.
To me, Palpatine probably never had his own capital ship at that early in the stage of like the Clone Wars, or like not early stage, but you know, early stage of the Empire.
Yeah.
Because he was a non-combatant, so it makes sense that he'd probably have.
So it'd be more Vader's Star Destroyer.
Yeah. You know, I gotta think. Palpatine did have his own Star Destroyer. Hold on. In the EU.
But of course, this is all a bit. Yeah, the eclipse.
It isn't just the eclipse. It's
But the eclipse is the one that was built as a flagship for Emperor Palpatine.
No, I'm talking during the Galactic Civil War. Trying to figure this out.
Yeah, that's the one from Dark Empire.
Oh, hold on.
You doubt the odds against Christmas cards finding each friend on your list, or getting a box of oversized socks. But you don't.
Give me a second.
Christmas could have so easily been the day
Vader was using a cap Venator by I believe. Hold on.
Discovered America on December the 25th. Or snow could have
So wait, that would be volume 7. Vader was still using a Venator in 19 BBY. Like during, let me see, that would be volume 7. Hold on, give me 1 second.
How much you'll look that up? We can wrap up, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Vader was like using still Venator at the tail end of 19 BBY into 18 BBY.
You have to remember, when you're
He was still using Venator. But technically it was within his fleet, so
yeah,
he'd probably keep the exactor more secured.
And it could be that it was on the Venator because that one was holding back and he could command his forces better from there and send the better ships in front. That sort of thing.
Exactly. The music is well done.
Yeah, I like the music.
Music, Vader's voice actor in this, great job.
Yeah, they did a great
Whoever
job.
they got, let me see, I'm going to
the voice for Sidious I liked as well.
Yes, that was good.
Someone in the comments, I think, said about that Palpatine doesn't talk that much. But I think that's not really a thing, especially after reading more of the EU. He talks a fair bit because he's a politician still.
Right.
But especially I noticed in Shadows of the Empire and the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy, because I read them recently, he is prone to talking about things openly in the presence of outsiders like Shizor. Openly to Vader and everything about things that are going on, even though they don't understand it, which is interesting.
So big round of applause for me was Padme Amidala, which is Catherine Lassalle. I believe that's how you pronounce the name, right? The voice of Vader was Jesse Gomez, so very good. Believe it or not, still hard to tell, but I think I always like Matt Slum, who voiced Vader in The Force Unleashed.
Okay.
I always liked him. I don't know what about it.
I like Vader's voice in that. Yeah, definitely. Thinking of that, Mark Grisky wrote the music for The Force Unleashed and a bunch of other video games.
Who did?
Mark Grisky. And he's done some amazing work in the video games, and I don't know why they haven't used him again, even for the movies, because they do better for the movies, I think.
Because they want to just want to go with the...
Well, they played off the John Williams nostalgia. They played off the John Williams nostalgia, but then they had some others that were... I think they were more in-house, which is probably why.
Right.
But it'd be awesome to see.
Voice of Palpatine was Bradley Klein. The voice of Clone Troopers, This is a major pet peeve of mine. That they sound Cockney. He sounds Cockney.
They don't have many lines, and I haven't really rewatched it to pay attention properly.
You just need to listen to Fox, and he's just... I just can't... I don't like it. They should have just gotten someone from New Zealand.
Someone with the same sort of accent as Tamira Morrison. Yeah.
But instead they kind of go alternate D. Bradley Baker, and nothing against him. He did a good job. But they went kind of the D. Bradley Baker route, but went more British with it.
Okay.
It's weird.
Who voices them in the Clone Wars TV show?
Yeah, that would be D. Bradley Baker.
That's
He
okay.
Voiced,
I
think he voiced
haven't
the
looked
clones
into
also
it.
in Totototski series too. I could be
Because
wrong
they
on
do a
that.
good job of that. He did a good job. So.
You know D. Bradley Baker. You've watched American Dad, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, you're missing out on a good show. No, like, believe it or not, American Dad's a good
And
show.
the most Family Guy I watched is the Star Wars parodies.
Those are good.
And
I think the Cleveland show are gonna...
I haven't
Dad,
watched
what about
much
the prequels?
Simpsons because I wasn't allowed to when I was younger.
Which is weird.
Where are you?
Simpsons is the most mundane show ever. And
I don't know, my parents thought it'd be a bad influence, so they didn't do it.
Versus watching a guy burn in lava.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Reading back on that.
No, but you look at... So, in American Dad, D. Bradley Baker plays a fish named Klaus.
I think I've seen pictures, yeah.
He's funny enough. So, I recommend American Dad because it's just really funny. Comedy, it's probably one of Seth's better works. Let's see here. Did you ever watch the Robot Chicken stuff?
Yeah, I love Robot Chicken. I've watched a lot of that later on though, because a lot of it's on YouTube now.
Yeah, I know.
So, it's good.
Um,
It's like, if you ever watched Mad TV, it's a really good comedy show that was on. But they cancelled it in favour of SNL. Yeah, that's got stuff on YouTube and everything, and that's really funny as well.
But again, I just have a problem with Clone Boys, and that's probably my pet peeve. They did really good work with the CGI. With I do like the Vader's Ada class or Actus. I guess it's both, technically. They did a good job with that. I cannot blame them for anything like that. It looks professional grade.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, there are spots in this. Case in point, I think the Palpatine's like throne room on the Star Destroyer. That room is very small. It doesn't match what I would think his throne room would look like. And
Unless it's not meant to be his throne room, really, and just a temporary room he used.
Yeah, but even in Star Destroyer, you expect like those one like rounded lights on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the one light set, just kind of like.
Yeah, those sort of cylindrical sorts of ones.
Yeah. Yeah, you expect that even on like the Vader class. It's just like it's absent and it's just jarring to see it.
It's
without
different
that.
to what you're used to, yeah. Though I guess I don't know how much of a budget they have. And I think the main thing I think as well, for me, is that they're releasing it as episodes rather than taking more time, which I'd wait longer, to just release it as one full feature-length movie. Which they could develop the story properly and see how it works as a whole as well. before releasing it then.
Exactly. And that's another big thing. The thing is, I think the plot's moving too quick. I mean,
Not much really
moving
happens,
too
to be
quick.
honest.
Yeah,
He
I
just
just
sort
feel
of...
like they should have.
They didn't need the Emperor testing Vader, because we already know that'll happen sometime.
In that first episode, we did not need basically the whole Vader wanting to strike down Palpatine. We did not need that. That was one. That was probably about. Yeah, that was half of the. That was exactly half of that. We're not including. That was. So basically, how this was broken down was 1/3 was that dream sequence. Another third was just kind of the real meat of it, and then the other third was the crown roll. That's all that was, and it's just like I'm seeing people praise this. I mean, good. There is
praise for its due.
Yeah. There's potential there, but I feel like you're overpraising this because I have nothing against Star Wars Theory. I love Star Wars Theory. The thing is this is Force Awakens and the Phantom Menace all over again. It's just people are gonna say it's good because they've waited a while for this. They've hyped this up to no end, and people trick themselves into believing it's good.
Hype has the opposite effect for me for that. Because they hyped it up a lot, so I was expecting more from them, and then I get let down. That's what happened with me with The Force Awakens as well.
No, that's the norm. That is the normal reaction people should have, but they don't. They instead go,
well,
they were just so blind. People are blind. That's the problem.
It does appear that they just accept anything with the Star Wars label on it.
Exactly.
Which is a lot like what I think, and we can go into it in a later discussion, but I'll leave with this thought.
Exactly.
A lot of people aren't looking deeply into it and are just sitting back and letting the emotions wash over them and aren't thinking logically about what they're watching. Because The Last Jedi does really well at evoking emotions, but it really lacks in the story, in my opinion.
Exactly.
And that's a 2017 movie, not the 2013 novel.
And I didn't even find Force Awakens that good, because after I've watched it so many times, and maybe you have to watch it so many times to actually fully understand what you are watching, but after I watch it like 5 times, and it's just like you pick up on the details. It's like this movie is so similar to A New Hope, and they aren't doing anything really creatively.
They played it very safe,
Exactly, and I don't want to see safe. No offense, I don't want to see safe with Star Wars. I want a good plot, and a good original plot, or an adaptation.
I'd rather them take risks, because then that means that their creative minds are doing something.
I'd rather them take risks, and they think about these risks over the span of, no offense, over a span of 2 to 3 years or more, versus what they've been churning out, which has been a movie a year. And you're not thinking beforehand, case in point.
And thinking about Star Wars for this year, since it's nearing the end of the year, a lot of visual media has come out, and they're really ramping it up, as far as a lot of the TV shows as well. There wasn't enough time between The Last Jedi and Solo, and they're releasing Resistance, and they're going to be releasing The Mandalorian next year, and it's just a lot of stuff to try and keep up with as well.
Exactly. I mean, when you have dedicated Star Wars fans, you expect that, but they need to try to target. They tried to target the casuals, and then the casuals blew up in their face.
Yeah.
Because you're bombarding them with so much stuff.
Yeah.
That's the problem. A normal Star Wars
and because
mega Star Wars fan like us, we can get used to it and adapt.
Lucasfilm isn't used to producing visual media like it's being asked to by Disney at the moment.
Exactly. They're used to slower pacing and everything like that.
And they've lowered the quality of the storytelling and tried to work a lot on the nostalgia and everything else there, which is how I feel it's doing. And it's appealing a lot more to the casual fans rather than the what I'll call hardcore fans that really look in depth at all of it. And even some fans who just watch the movies, I could call hardcore fans for how much of the movies they've watched and what details they know. But they can be sort of a subcategory of hardcore, saying they're hardcore movie fans or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I think I better wrap it up here. So.
All right. I'm gonna add in this last point. The thing is, again, they're just going so fast. I mean, the reason why they just didn't think over their decisions. Case in point, Last Jedi. That whole movie, that whole script was the rough draft.
Yeah. It used the first draft.
Like, you had no time. The thing is that you had no time to work out other drafts and create a better movie because you were constricted on time.
I forget where it is, but I also saw there was a clip with Ryan Johnson saying that he doesn't write well under pressure or with a time constraint.
Then why did they hire him?
I don't know.
They need to think.
They must have known everything they needed to know about him and said that yes, it's the person they want to hire. So I'd say that's a management decision that has caused that issue.
Right. Apparently Kathleen and JJ don't go along well. Apparently inside sources.
But JJ's back for episode 9, so...
Exactly, because they
must get along enough.
The problem with, no offense, problem with Kathleen, I don't think she gets along well with others, and I don't think she likes being told no. I mean, she did fire how many directors in the span of
3 directors, I think, because they fired Lord and Miller, and they fired the director that was on episode 9.
Trevorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think she's got a problem with people questioning her, and.
But then there's others that they just let do what they like, so it's a bit odd. Yeah.
I just think Lucasfilm is a mess right now, and sadly, we will probably not see a change there for probably another 5 years or so.
So I've got an R2-D2 notebook as well. I'll finish off with that, may as well. R2-D2 notebook. I'll bring it back a bit like that.
That is cool.
And that's a cool looking one.
Oh.
And opens up and whatever. Has a little notebook with astromech droids on the front of it and pages in it. Yeah. So that'll be good.
One last thing we forgot to cover because we went off topic.
Oh yeah, I think we do that.
We go off topic. Let's see. I'm gonna check what.
I think there's a lot of topics we should cover as just single podcasts and discussions.
Since this is special, let's go for another 10 minutes. All right. Might as well just make it 2 hours again.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, what we wanted to talk about was Star Wars and Christmas, essentially. Like,
yeah. So,
What have you gotten over the years, Star Wars related, for Christmas? Like,
well, it's hard to separate some Christmas and birthday stuff because my birthday is on the 27th of December, so it's close to
right.
Christmas. So, I think I got this one. I don't know where the hair's gone. Oh, here it is. So, my parents got me a Bespin Lake Skywalker that somehow the magnets in the head to keep the hair on have gone the opposite way. So the hair pops up.
Weird.
But it doesn't actually have a box with it, so they got it cheaper. But it's a Bespin Luke Skywalker. If I can line it up with
I'm
the
guessing
camera.
that might be Bandai. Jeez.
And it's got that comes out, but I'm not going to try it too much. And
That's weird.
I've got a lot of stuff packed away as well. But have you heard of Royal Selangor?
What?
Have you heard of Royal Selangor?
Mm-mm.
I'll see if I can bring up the website.
So, I don't think I've had a year without getting something for Christmas.
My parents know me well enough. So,
You get me anything Star Wars, I'll be happy. That's essentially my mindset. Hell, I could have like a whole Star Wars, like everyone get me something Star Wars for Christmas. I'd be fucking ecstatic.
yeah, pretty much. So,
So,
Royal Selangor have a Star Wars collection where they make, basically, if I can make this bigger. No, I won't do bigger at the moment. But they have all these sorts of figurines that are proper. Oh, what am I calling? They'd be die casts, I think.
pewter. They're pewter.
Pewter, that's right, pewter, never mind. Pewter. They have all of these. And one time my parents got me a set with Slave Leia and
Which,
Han Solo and everything. Sorry, I'll keep going. They have multiple pages of this stuff. 2 pages.
No more. You know, there's not supposed to be any more Slave Leia merchandise.
Well,
Disney kind of axed everything with that.
Disney.
Not you guys.
Yeah.
Here.
But Disney must be sponsoring it because they got BB-8 and whatever other new stuff
Yeah.
that I'm not really caring about, but that's alright. This is really cool because they have a shop in Singapore that I saw.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
And they're really awesome anyway. They're expensive but awesome.
Oh, God. Sideshow is fucking expensive. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is astronomically ridiculous.
And that's Australian dollars too. So, yeah. But they're cheaper if you get them online than in the shop. But my parents got me some of those one year. That was awesome. And over the years, I've gotten various bits and pieces of other things. Yeah, Chewbacca one. I saw that in the shop. Yeah. I can price them. Anyway, yeah.
So
I think there's a highlight.
Basically.
And because it's around Christmas, I actually was surprised last year that my parents got me a pinball machine, which is an Empire Strikes Back one.
That's interesting.
And it's actually the last pinball machine.
I want to say that you come from money.
Well, not really. But my parents own their own business, and it's a very niche market, and they do fairly well. It's not money like some of the others, but better off than I'd say most. So, yeah.
That's weird. That I just remembered something. I actually knew someone who's immigrant from Australia.
Okay.
Actually, I knew who went to my school. But yeah. Anyway, off topic. So let's see. What did I get related to Star Wars last year? Probably I got the Essential Atlas last year. That was probably
my parents gave up trying to get books for me because they don't know which ones I have and don't have.
Exactly. Like, I can imagine like expanding my collection to a point where it's like, oh shit. Great. I guess that's why I created this checklist, is because you can just go down it.
It's a lot easier to have a list because otherwise you'll get lost. Because I remember most of the ones I have, but I don't remember every single one just off the top of my head all the time.
I can always see like somebody asking, "Is this the book you want?" They bring me a new canon book. It's just like, your mother said you wanted a Star Wars book, so here, and I just.
Well, you appreciate the thought behind it.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's just like, give me the receipt. I'm joking.
I'll trade it in for another one.
I wouldn't have a problem. The one novel for me and Nick I would have a problem with is Tarkin, Lords of the Sith,
or the Thrawn books.
Aid of the Jedi.
I think I've heard the Thrawn books are good too, because they're Timothy's.
Thrawn Alliances is something I'm looking to buy.
And Thrawn Treason is coming in. It's the next one. Because they're successful and they're popular, they're making more just Thrawn ones. Anyway,
let me see.
So what sort of things have you gotten in previous years before that?
I remember there was when I was probably 10 or something. I think I got the Jabba's Sail Barge Lego set.
Cool.
Pretty big, probably about say this big, and came with the skiff and everything. I always liked that. Around the time of this is probably the earliest Star Wars thing I can remember, would probably be around the time of episode 3. My uncle got me and my brother. So they still sell them, but they aren't as common anymore. But the vehicles. I got Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, and my brother got the Droid Tri-Fighter. So
I wish I'd taken a photo of it.
What?
Thinking of vehicles, I wish I got a photo of it. But there was one of those ones that the news agents should get a subscription for, was the Star Wars vehicles and Starships collections.
You know what's interesting? Wait, hold on.
They came with a little booklet. This is all the little magazines and that came with them.
Yeah.
And they came. Each of the books came with a model. They're in storage.
Actually, I know where. I can actually go and buy like 3 of them right now because there's a shop. Like, apparently they're imports because the United States never got these things.
Expanded Universe. Z95 Headhunter. And in the X-Wing one, it has it's an ancestor to it.
Oh, dude, you know what'd be fun? Give me one moment.
The Lady Luck, which is Lando's ship.
Lando's.
They've got EU references and information dotted amongst these.
Callum. He had the Lady Luck in Dark Force Rise, right?
Yeah, the Throne trilogy, he had that.
Yeah. This is gonna be a fun time.
So these are cool. Because thinking of bounty hunters as well that I'm reading at the moment. Oh, that's interesting.
It's a quiz book.
Oh, that's different. Thinking of bounty hunters,
Yeah,
it's got the Mist Hunter, which is Zuckus's ship, in one of the pages. And yeah, I could go through these and pick out EU references probably now.
I got this one year from my uncle. This was a Christmas gift in 2009. So, that was a good gift. It's a bit beat up from, almost 10 years of wear and tear now.
Yeah.
And I got this. Technically, this is a newer copy my brother got me for my birthday this year because he originally tore up the original one.
Oh, fun.
I got this. I got the original one back in probably around the same time I got Jabba's Sail Barge.
No.
So that would have been years ago now. But,
yes.
I mean, it's always interesting getting, Star Wars stuff. And
I think it's always interesting as well when you get them as gifts and that, because you have stories to go along with them more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of my novels I've had to order online because there's actually the local bookshops only got the new stuff and it's about an hour away. So, I've ordered a lot online, and so that just comes and is added to the collection, and there isn't as much of a story to collecting them. That's where I like some of the other YouTube reviews where they have stories along, like, I got this book when I was this age and I raced through it because I loved it or whatever. And,
yeah. I mean, on here I keep a record of where I've got it and everything too.
Yeah.
And not specifically the date, but the month and the year.
Yeah. I haven't worried about that. Yeah.
Alright, that should probably do it on time.
Yeah.
We went probably 2 minutes over now.
That's
so guys,
awesome.
I'm Evan, and this is Callum. And, happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day and Merry Sithmas.
Merry Sithmas. Do it.
It's treason then.
Oh, my Jedi.
It's good.
I can do a Palpatine voice. I can. Young Skywalker. I don't know how.
Do what must be done. Do not hesitate. Show no mercy. I like that line. That's cool.
Again, Merry Christmas, guys. Or any other holiday you celebrate.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Sam, he's gonna be gone for what, another month?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be February when I probably can start doing a bit more regularly.
Yeah. Alright.
But I'll see how my timing goes, because I might have a little bit in January, but we'll see what actual topics we can cover as well. So cool.
So guys, there's a link in my channel page to Callum's YouTube channel. There's also a link down below to it in the description. Hit the subscribe button if you want more podcasts, and we're going to start doing Star Wars lore stuff more often.
And I'll just put the relevant things in my description, because I might chuck a link to the actual holiday special uploaded and other relevant bits and pieces of information that we talked about down in the description. So that'll be good. People can check out what we're talking about.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you all. And to all a good night.
Alright. Jeez. So, what do you got planned for the holidays?
Whoa. My parents actually surprised me.